Village Shenanigans, the Jerry McNeal Series, Book 11. Join Jerry McNeal and his ghostly K-9 partner as they put their gifts to good use. Written by Sherry A. Burton. Narrated by Bethanne Reid. Chapter 1. Of all the bad ideas Jerry had of late, spending the last few hours driving around in Jacksonville, North Carolina, visiting his old haunts, may have been his worst. Instead of making him feel better, he was now feeling rather low, since, though he'd spent the better part of his Marine enlistment based in Camp Lejeune, there was nothing left for him here. Too much had changed since he'd left the area, and traffic, which had always been crazy, was now verging on insane. Sure, the new bypass helped, but the population had long outgrown the infrastructure of the roadways, and Jacksonville's traffic was what nightmares were made of. Traffic flow aside, most of the Marines he'd served with had all either retired or moved on. The ones still on active duty were deployed elsewhere or had gone home for the holidays. He wasn't sure what he was expecting to find at his old stomping ground. Perhaps he'd hoped to run into some old friends who would give him an excuse not to follow through with his current plan of heading to his parents' house for the holidays. Not that he had a problem visiting his parents. It just wasn't home. His parents had sold his childhood home a few years ago and moved to the Villages, Florida. His grandmother's house, the one he'd spent most of his time when he was a child, had been sold after she passed. Jerry sighed. Home. He was driving his home. Everything he owned was crammed into bags in the back of his Durango, leaving him no place to truly call home. Jerry felt a tug in his heart. Gunter pawed at Jerry's arm. Jerry reached a hand to pet his ghostly companion. "I'm all right, boy. Just feeling a bit melancholy." Granny's voice sifted through the air. "How come I wasn't invited to your party?" Jerry pulled his hand back and looked in the mirror to see Granny's spirit sitting in the back seat. "What party?" Gunter disappeared. Instantly, he was in the back seat, whining and slathering Granny's spirit with ghostly kisses. Granny ruffled the dog's fur for several more seconds, then appeared in the front passenger seat. "Your pity party. You're not homesick, you know." Jerry cocked an eyebrow. "I'm not." Granny lifted her feet to the dash. "No, you're lovesick." Jerry slid a glance in her direction. "Since when did you become Dr. Phil?" She ignored the quip. "I hate seeing you moping around like a lovesick pup."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?